It was a packed house on Tuesday as family, friends, and fellow musicians gathered to remember 3 members of the Nelon family, who had performed Southern gospel music for years as the Nelons, and 4 others who died in a recent plane crash. On July 26, multiple members of the Nelon family were on their way to join the Gaither homecoming cruise to Alaska when their charter plane crashed in the mountains of Wyoming. The crash claimed the lives of all 7 people on board the flight. They included Jason and Kelly Nelon Clark, and their daughter, Amber Nelon Kistler, all members of the singing group. Nathan Kistler, who ministered with his wife, Amber, in Washington, D.C. through Hope to the Hill, was also killed in the crash, as was the couple's ministry associate, Melody Hodges. The pilot, Larry Haney, and his wife, Melissa, also perished. Larry Haney had served as the chairman of the Georgia Department of Corrections Board. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp stated that the gospel community has lost dear friends in this heartbreaking accident. The National Transportation Safety Board has opened an investigation into the cause of the crash, according to media reports. Autumn, the youngest member of the Nelons, and her husband, Jamie Streetman, were not on the plane. They arrived safely in Seattle, where they received the news that their family had perished in a plane crash. At the memorial service for her family members on Tuesday at Roopville Road Baptist Church near Atlanta, Georgia, Autumn led hundreds gathered in prayer. In her remarks, Autumn shared how the loss has impacted her. "Even though my heart is breaking, and tears flood my eyes, I believe that God gives us something worth trusting, and that is Him, and Him alone," said Autumn. Autumn went on to say that in just 3 minutes, her world was flipped upside down. "My sweet baby boy, coming in December, will never know his family on this side of heaven, and I have so many questions and so few answers," she said. "My choice is to trust Him fully. I know that He's in control and can see what we don't, but I'd sure love it if He'd just let me in on it. For now, I'll look forward to the promise of heaven, a place of joy, beauty, peace and happiness that will never end. Until I make it there, I'll keep going." Following the prayer, Autumn performed the song, Family Chain, alongside longtime family friends, the Isaacs, breaking into tears at the end of the song. The Nelons, who previously had other family as group members and have received 10 Gospel Music Association Dove Awards over the years, were inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2016. Messages of condolences may be expressed to the family online. A celebration of life service for Amber and Nathan Kistler will be held on Saturday, at Mount Home Baptist Church in Morganton, North Carolina. The Nelons were started by founding member Rex Nelon as the Rex Nelon Singers in 1977. The group was a spin-off of the family group the Lefevres. They became known as the Rex Nelon Singers in 1976 because the Lefevre family members had left the group. The group's first #1 song was "Come Morning" on the Singing News chart, and was awarded the Southern Gospel Song of the Decade for the 1980s. Another widely recognizable song by the group is "We Shall Wear a Robe and Crown." Over time the group included Karen Peck, Janet Paschal, Jerry Thompson, Charlotte Ritchie, Kelly Nelon Clark, Todd Nelon, Jeff Stice, Martin Guriasco, Rodney Swain, Stan Whitmire, Ray Fisher, Vernon Lee. The Nelons have been nominated for many awards in the Southern gospel music industry, including Grammys, Dove Awards, Singing News Awards, Absolutely Gospel Awards, Diamond Awards, and Christian Voice Awards. In 2014, the Nelons were a trio made up of Kelly Nelon Clark, Jason Clark, and Amber Nelon Thompson. In 2014, Amber was chosen as Female Vocalist of the Year at the Absolutely Gospel Music Awards. Kelly Nelon Clark, Jason Clark, and Amber Nelon Kistler died in a plane crash on July 26, 2024. The Nelons lived, breathed and sang their faith. Kelly Nelon Clark, husband Jason Clark, and her daughters Amber Nelon Kistler and Autumn Nelon Streetman had been recording together for a decade. The latest incarnation of the family-rooted gospel group started in the 1970s by Kelly's father Rex Nelon. They'd been on a tear at the Absolutely Gospel Awards since Kelly, who started performing with her dad as a child, was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. Jason was named Producer of the Year in 2021, and in 2022 Autumn was named Female Vocalist of the Year, an award won by her sister in 2014. She's now the only surviving member of the Georgia-based quartet following a plane crash July 26 that killed Kelly, 64, Jason, Amber, 35, and her husband Nathan Kistler, 34, the band's assistant Melody Hodges, pilot Larry Haney and his wife, Melissa Haney. Thank you for the prayers that have been extended already to me, my husband, Jamie, and our soon-to-be-born baby boy, as well as Jason's parents, Dan and Linda Clark. Autumn, who's expecting her first child, said in a statement the next day. We appreciate your continued prayers, love and support as we navigate the coming days. Kelly, Jason and Amber had been on their way to Seattle to join the Alaska-bound Gaither homecoming cruise. They were traveling with 4 others, including the pilot, in a single-engine Pilatus PC-12 that took off from Georgia on the morning of July 26, according to flight records. The plane stopped in Nebraska City, Nebraska and was en route to Billings, Montana when it crashed in a remote area of Gillette, Wyoming. Autumn and husband Jamie Streetman were traveling separately and upon arrival at their hotel, according to Gaither Management Group, fellow artists and company founders Bill and Gloria Gaither gathered to pray, sing and embrace them in their grief before the couple flew back home to begin the hard tasks that lie ahead. Chief among those tasks is deciding how to pay tribute to Autumn's mom, sister and stepfather, the family who lived to make music together and who died on the way to spending more time doing what they loved. Southern gospel artist Rex Nelon sang bass for 20 years with the historic group the Lefevres, another family outfit with roots in Tennessee dating back to the 1920s. Rex, who was born in Asheville, North Carolina but settled down in Georgia, bought out the retiring Lefevres and changed the name of the group to the Rex Nelon Singers in 1977. Rex and first wife Shirley's daughter Kelly, born in 1959, started singing with her father when she was 13. As the Rex Nelon Singers, they were joined by Janet Paschal from 1977 until 1981, after which Karen Peck was their soprano until 1990. Meanwhile, Kelly married Jerry Thompson in 1979 and at the time he became the 5th member of the Rex Nelon Singers. In the mid-1980s they started performing and recording as the Nelons. After Karen left the group, Kelly's brother Todd Nelon, who had previously played bass, moved into a singing role. While touring with the Nelons, Kelly put out several solo albums as well, including Her Father's Child in 1983, Praise Him Now in 1985, Called by Love in 1988, Can't in 1990 in 1992's Steadfast Heart. Kelly had daughters Amber and Autumn with Jerry before their divorce in 1998. Meanwhile, Jason Clark had joined the Nelons as their bass player in 1995, followed by his singer-father Dan Clark in 1998. Kelly and Jason married in 2001 and, as Dan left the band, Amber joined as their soprano in 2002. The Nelons were a trio, with Autumn performing with them occasionally before becoming a full-time member in 2014. Among the honors she received over the years, Kelly was named Favorite Alto at the Christian Voice Awards in 2009 and Favorite Female Vocalist in 2010. Amber was a devoted member of the Nelons from the age of 13. Like her mom, Amber also had solo aspirations, auditioning for American Idol in 2011. During a church service in 2012, Kelly told the congregation about seeking spiritual counsel when Amber first wanted to try out for the series. I called our pastor, she said, and he said, you know what, you just go till God puts a stop in it. So that's what we did. We found out we could go to Austin, Texas, so we loaded up like the Clampets. Lining up with 10,000 other hopefuls in Austin, Kelly continued, Amber was the first one to try out, the first one to hold up the golden ticket to Hollywood. We thought that was it. That was far from it, but eventually Amber got to the point in the process where she was singing in front of judges Randy Jackson, Jennifer Lopez and Steven Tyler, according to her mom. But ultimately, Kelly said, Amber didn't make it to Hollywood because, while the aspiring idol said she'd be willing to sing songs that have a positive message, she refused to compromise her religious values in any way for the sake of being on the show. Amber posted in June 2023 that she just had her last injection. To all the women who struggle with infertility, I understand and empathize with you, she wrote. No one gets it, unless they've been through it. Amber's most recent Instagram posts relayed that she brought home a puppy named George on July 4th, happy 4th, best day ever. And announced the Nelons' latest single, There's a Hole in the Heart. Autumn, an alto like her mom, married fellow singer Jamie Streetman on September 19, 2023. The couple are expecting their first child together, a son they've already named Rhett James. Last year we were engaged, Autumn wrote in a June 28 post, this year we are halfway to meeting our baby boy. How quick things change.